Streets Unplugged by the Luxembourg Streetphoto Collective.
Hello, we are live here from the Light Leaks Festival edition 2023, and we have here with us Liz Lambert, who is one of our exhibitors. And the idea of the podcast is that we have all of our exhibitors who tell us a little bit in a few sentences about themselves and about the project that is hanging on the wall. Liz, the floor is yours.
Well, I'm doing street photography since, I think, 5 years or so. I take a lot of pictures with my phone. Also, in this exhibition, you see can see a lot of photos I took with my phone. This time, I choose photos that play with reflection. So, I think all the pictures were taken through a window. So most of the time from the outside to the inside, so you can see different levels. So you see the outside, the inside, but also reflections. And for me it has something poetic because through these kinds of pictures you can combine different situations that exist separate from each other, but in that moment when you take the picture, they get one. So that was the idea behind. Yeah.
Thank you. And the next photographer we have with us is Tom Weiss. Tom, tell us a little bit about yourself and the pictures that you hung up on your wall.
Well, hello, I'm Tom Weiss, from Luxembourg, born 1980. I was always interested in taking pictures, but back in the days when there was only analog, my dad didn't allow me to take pictures just like that. Like that could have been street pictures, so I just wasn't taking pictures. And then with money came my first camera, and then I explored pictures I could take without having somebody else saying, no, don't do that. Yeah. The pictures I put on the wall, it's random, but I like them together. I think very less, I think not much when I take pictures. I'm happy when I take a picture that's good. And so, yeah.
So it's more visually fitting.
When I see it and then I have to take the picture and the same goes with hanging up. I printed out some pictures and then I put them together in front of the wall, just thinking this would fit. Kind of.
Great. Tom, thank you for being with us.
Our next guest here on our podcast table is Tom Hertz. He is one of the Slide Night winners from 2022. So he had the right to exhibit here at the Festival 23. And hello, Tom.
Hello. Thank you very much.
Maybe you can tell us a bit about you, about your wall, about your pictures, about your general idea of your project.
Okay. So thank you very much, Eric. I'm Tom. I'm 24 years old and I'm from Luxembourg actually. I grew up here in the city and I was now abroad for like 4 years or something like that, so I just came back from Luxembourg. Coming back to my pictures actually on the wall, I like to work with lights and colors. That's also a very main aspect which we see now in my wall actually. And the other aspects which I really wanted to emphasize is the aspect of anonymity and the fast pace of our society. So the thing is, I always emphasize to neglect kind of the face, because I always wanted to emphasize more on the person, how he intertwined into environment in that sense. So for me, it is not about the individuality and the character of a person, but it's more like how we interact with our environment and how we can get blended in it. And I realized that nowadays people are more focused on being just moving around and being hectic and being on their phones, that they don't really notice me anymore in a sense. And that's the reason why I also work a lot with like motion, because to emphasize the fast hectic of the society.
Thank you very much.
Our next guest here on the podcast, live podcast from the festival 23, is Nero Cheung. Is
Chung,
it
yeah.
Chung? Yeah, sorry. Who is a very enthusiast and a very gifted photographer, and who is quite, I would say, a fan of the festival already. Is this true?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
my second time.
Yeah, great. Okay.
I,
So maybe you can tell us about your impressions about the festival. What did you like? What did you dislike? What keeps in your mind when you leave the festival?
well, I don't think there's anything I'm disliking here, since it's a like what I like about it is that I meet so many photographers here in Luxembourg that I never seen, and it's really nice to interact and talk with people that have the same interest. Yeah, this is why I plan to come here every year, just to meet new photographers.
Okay, thanks, Neru, and see you soon. Well, hello, Mathilde.
Hello.
You're one of the guests from the festival 23, at least, that I've seen very often here.
Yeah.
So I would say
I'm there every day because it's various events, very various and open for professional, amateur too. It's very accessible, so it's very nice.
very nice. Yes, I would say you are quite a fan of photography. You like photography a lot.
Yeah. Photography is my passion. In my free time, I do a lot of photography, and I'm a member of the committee of Photo Club Didelange.
Okay.
Photo club in Dudelange, and it's
Okay.
a very nice photo club, open to professional and amateur too. So it's very nice. We have different sessions once per month. It's very interesting. And this year I put some of my photo on open wall
Oh,
for the first time.
okay. We are crossing the fingers then.
yeah. So it's very nice to participate this year, and it's very great because it's open to all the public, and all the people passionate by photography can put their picture on the open wall, and the exhibition is very beautiful, and I had the chance to see your photo.
Thank you.
They are very great.
Thank you.
So, very,
Okay. So next year you're coming back.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
for sure, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Mathilde.
Thank you very much.
Next one on our list here is Olivier Tull.
Hello.
Is also one of the Slide Night winners of 22.
Two, yeah.
So he won at the Slide Night here at the Rotonde with his slideshow, and actually he could exhibit at our festival here. And hello, Olivier.
Hi.
Maybe you can tell us a bit about you in a few sentences, and about your project on your wall.
I will make it short. So, hi, my name is Olivier Tull. I'm currently a teacher in Luxembourg. I have not much to do with photography, apart from that I do it every day and as much as I can. I used to work more in photography, but I had a long hiatus because at some point in my life I just had enough of it. I couldn't see anything which had to do with photography anymore, and I just stopped. And it was just before the pandemic that I decided to go at it again, but with less pressure. And that's where I am now. I'm slowly getting the habit of taking pictures again and working more with photography and cameras and gear and going back to analog photography as well, which I do very much and I love very much because it's a slow process and
So kind of a second life as a photographer in one life.
Yeah, it's kind of second life as my real personality.
Okay, cool, great, cool.
So and the project I did was I wanted to go back to pure street photography, which is photographing just pure people on the street, but breaking a bit with the rules that say you should not photograph common people doing common things, because that could be perceived as boring or it could be perceived as too banal. And but it's exactly what I wanted to do, and it was exactly what I did. And just to show that it's not necessarily banal and it's not necessarily boring, and also to show that yes, it's traditional street photography, but it's also good to break the rules and to do whatever you like.
Exactly.
Not.
Wow. Nice final word. Thank you
very
Olivier.
much. Thank you very much, Eric.
I'm sitting here with Graziella Magnoni. You're one of the main exhibitors here at our festival and one of our guest speakers. Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and about the pictures that are outside the Rotonde?
Thank you very much. I'm a street photographer. I used to be a press photographer. I was born in Uruguay, and I traveled the world photographing candid scenes, special moments.
Great. And let us know a little bit more about the pictures that are hanging outside.
Yes, well, this is a series called Cuentos Anónimos, which in English translates by Anonymous Tales. Those are small photos that I take all over the world. They show some magic and some fantasy, and showing how different cultures connect to each other, and beautiful moments that I catch around the world.
Thank you very much. So, yes, I'm here with Francesca, one of the fellow members of the Through the Lens Collective. Francesca, tell us a little bit about the collective and about the work you have hung up on the wall.
Okay, the collective is formed by 14 members from all over the world, and the main idea of the collective was to connect photographers from different countries and to show their own point of view. So that's why the name Through the Lens. And so in the exhibition, we wanna explain this. So the main wall, we presented like a map of the world, and we pointed with the one picture and a little biography of each member, where the member is from. So we connected with the line. Each photograph and each biography with the country where the member is from, and then we had other two walls. In one wall we have a team whose title is Spiritualism. So actually what we do usually, we put together photograph by each member, and we choose a team, and we just try to put together pictures on one team. So one wall is spiritualism, and the other wall it's human nature. So this is what we exhibited in the festival.
Thank you very much, Francesca.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Bye.
I'll record the intro. I've spoken one more time.
Okay.
So, hello, I'm welcoming Francesca from the Through the Lens Collective. Each year at the Light Leaks Festival, we invite one collective, and this year it's the internationally known collective that is called Through the Lens. Francesca, thank you for explaining about us a little bit about the collective. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, hello, Vincenzo.
Hello.
Vincenzo Barone.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
Vincenzo is one of the winners of the 2022 Slide Night
Yes.
contest winners, and therefore he has a wall here at the exhibition of 2023 at the Light Leaks Festival. And Vincenzo, I wanted to know a bit about your opinion about the whole festival and about your project also on your wall.
Okay. But first of all, I'm really thankful because, well, I won the competition last year, and I had this great opportunity to show my picture on this big wall here. And the festival is the third day. It's amazing. First day was overwhelming. Many people come. Everything was just incredible because the pictures that were on the wall that were just incredible and good. I personally meet many people. I had the pleasure to exchange with many street photographers. I had the pleasure to have my picture read by Tatsuo Suzuki, which is one of my myths. And yeah, it was really good, and I hope that next year it will be even bigger.
Yeah,
say. Yeah,
we try.
Yeah, you try. You already do a wonderful job, and I really want to thank you and all the people behind this festival because you really deserve a big thanks.
That's nice to hear.
Yeah.
Thanks, Vincenzo.
Thanks. No problem.
Hello, I'm here with Eric, one of my fellow co-members of the Street Photography Luxembourg Collective. Thank you for being with me. Eric, tell me a little bit about the pictures you hung up on your wall.
Yes, my project on my wall this year consists in, it's rather visual. I worked around a central image. In itself, there is a center figure of an individual, and the looks of the people around him go straight to that person. And I designed my project with the pictures around this picture, also with people that direct their looks to the other picture of that central person of that picture. So it sounds a bit complicated here, but I think the visual works, and yeah, this is my second exhibition, and I'm really happy to be part of this collective and of this organization, and I really enjoy it as an exhibitor and as a member of the collective.
Thank you, Eric. I have another question. You're a professional musician. How does that impact your work?
Interesting question. Yeah, I'm now I'm working as a professional musician for 16 years now, and yeah, like every creative job, you have the honor and the possibility to express yourself through art, and this is always beautiful if you are able to do that. And I was able to do this for the last 16 years, and there is somehow there is an urge in me to express myself also through the visual. So yeah, I really enjoy photography because I'm a young father of 2 children, and life accelerated kind of very fastly in the last years, and photography gave me the opportunity to to break it a bit down. Photography gives me the possibility to have a rest, I would say, and so I'm really, really thankful for people who enjoy my photography and who encourage me, and yeah, the collective is doing a big part of that.
Thank you, Eric. Keep it up.
Thanks.
So, and now we have the pleasure to have Paul Lesch, the director of the Centre National de l'Audiovisuel, with us. And Paul, what do you think about the exhibition?
Okay, that's an interesting question. I could have prepared it, and to be honest, when I went through the exhibition, I was thinking about what I could tell, because you had warned me about this. No, to be honest, it's not necessarily the exhibition in itself, because there's so many different photographers and also so many different styles. It's not only street photography, and that may also be the reason why not called Street Photography Festival anymore. So, but I still like the concept of street photography at a time when it's really complicated to make pictures in the streets because of all the rights problems and so on. But what I really liked was especially those featuring Luxembourg Street. So things I see or I saw regularly, but I never really saw. I only see it now through the photos that are being taken. So I became aware of places and people just by looking at the photos, not looking at the reality, because in reality everything goes so fast. So, and if I look at the photos of some of the parts of the city, I recognize, but then I see more than I normally see when I'm just walking through these spaces. So that was a very positive effect on me. I was very much pleased with the.
That was a bike.
That was a bike. Just I didn't hit you or something like that. No, the photos by the Ermitier. I was really I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 photos, and almost all of them had really something. So I think they do a really good job at that school when it comes to photography, because many of these photos really, they didn't challenge me, but when I saw them, I was impressed. And then, of course, you have the usual suspects. There's no street photography in a certain sense with Janine Nunsen or Véronique Kolber, but I recognize in French you would say their pattes.
Yes.
And then there is this guy with this cross. I didn't really. I might need some info about that.
What guy? Who are you talking about?
Well, I don't know. He has this very common name, Patrick something, Schmidt or Müller or Hoffmann. I don't know.
Oh yeah, Hoffmann. Hoffmann sounds great. Okay, then I might do my explanations then.
Yeah.
Now, in my exhibition is I'm trying to talk a little bit to the people about memory. So I actually do have a cross hanging on the wall. I have people sitting in a church, and the idea is really to talk about what remains in memories to people once they are not there anymore, and how this memory evolves at some point. So the what is left behind, and maybe the memories that are fading. So, and that's the idea behind
There's
the project.
one photo where you have these lights, and then
yes.
Yeah. So the idea, I mean, it's a topic that I'm very much interested in, because I'm fighting against memory loss by making thousands and thousands of photos that have no artistic value. But for me, it's like a journal, a daily journal. Germany would say Tagebuch, and I'm right now working on tagging the photos and looking at them, and then I remember things I never thought
I really had forgotten. And it is an interesting experience. Also, because I'm now working on the years 2020, 21, the COVID years, in a certain sense, they are a little bit in a blur, you know.
Yes.
And if I look at the photos, I see, oh yeah, that was when everything was closed. This is when it reopened. This is when I could go out. This is when I went to the cactus and they were like people queuing in front of the street and so on. So for me, this kind of photography, the one that helps you catching, and even if it's an illusion, to remain or not to remain, to catch memory and to la garder. Huh?
Yes.
Yeah. And it may be an illusion, but I'm still working on it, and some of it will enter the archives of the CNA. So
yes. Thank you, Paul. Thank you for being with us. Thank you. And I have the great pleasure to sit here with Christian Aschmann. Christian, tell us a little bit about yourself and the pictures.
Yeah, I'm a freelance photographer. I'm working for almost 30 years as a photographer. I've worked in fashion, advertising, architecture, photography, portraits, and now I'm concentrating more and more on my personal work, which is about documenting urban life, especially urban environments, how they change, how they evolve, and mainly in Luxembourg I would say for the 6 last years. And with this project here, I showed an area in Luxembourg in Bonnevoie, which is located around the new Boulevard de Kiev, which is completely new, which was inaugurated a few months ago. And it's an old industrial area, mainly with small businesses and garages. And it's an area where probably all the buildings will disappear in the next future. And it's changing all the time, so I was really interested in documenting that, what remains for the moment.
Thank you, Christian. Thank you for being with us.
Merci. Thank you.
Yes, and now I have Vero Kolber here with me. Vero,
hello.
Thank you for being with us. Would you have the time to tell us a little bit about yourself and also about the picture that you hung up on this year's edition of the Lightleaks Festival?
Yes, hello. My name is Veronique Kolber, as you said, and I'm a professional photographer. Since 2002, and my series here is called Hidden. It's part of a new series that I'm trying to develop, and here's one sneak of the project. And it's a bit about to overcome a trauma. And yes, I think I have not that much to say about it because it's not finished yet. So I will let it a bit secret, you know.
Okay. Great.
Okay.
So we leave the people with the pictures that they will be able to see with the podcast. So don't forget to watch under the podcast line the pictures that every photographer drops under. So then you will be able to appreciate Veronique's secretive series. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you too. Bye.
And our next speaker is Victor Vital, one of our fellow members of the collective. Thank you for being with us. Victor, present yourself.
Hello, I'm Victor Vital. I'm not a really photographer, it's my hobby. I'm informatica. But I like to take photos, streets, and I take in sometimes photos for the press as well.
You do a lot of pictures, do you?
Yeah, it's true, when I have time.
Okay, and you've hung up a series here on the festival. Explain it a little bit.
For me, street photography is about people. People are essential in this picture. And I'm shooting color mainly, but color is important too. Color making kind of bringing mood to a picture. And this year you see I have a mix of people and people-less picture, but they are colorful, and try to mix to write some rims to make a small poem, which I'm bad in it. But
Okay.
visually, probably it's working. I hope so.
Okay. Well, you have a lot of humor also in your pictures. Do you do that intentionally?
I think it's about feeling. I'm not sure that I see it before I took the picture, but I have a feeling when I should press the button.
Okay.
And after by selecting, it's Thank you.
It's in editing where it comes out, huh? Or
no, sometimes during when I'm impatient, I'm running through the street. I'm not hunting for a photo. Oh yeah, I'm hunting, but I'm not waiting for a photo, not fishing a photo.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for being with us, Victor.
Thank you.
Okay, and the next person we have with us is Marc Schröder. Hello, Marc.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. A bit tired after all this weekend, but it's been very good. A very good experience.
Great. Tell us a little bit more about the pictures you hung up on the wall.
Okay. So the series that that's up on the wall is actually it's quite an old series that I shot in 2011, and it's a series that I realized during a long-distance winter hike through the former coal mining country of Belgium. So I walked from Namur to Liège, and while I was walking, I was taking pictures of landscapes, and then I also shot portraits of people that I met on public transport as I was going back to the hostels at night, either in Namur and Liège. And the sort of the spirit of the series is a little bit, it was loosely inspired by Schubert's Winterreise, the song cycle.
Okay, great.
Which is, the story of this heartbroken wanderer who's broken up with his fiancée and who aimlessly wanders about through this desolate countryside during the winter. So it's not a very cheerful topic, and I think the pictures should reflect that. There's a lot of loneliness in it, I think, and hopefully the narrative in that series reflects that. It's quite melancholic, I find, so the pictures tend to be a little bit dark too. I shot it all film, so I'd set myself a rule, so it was only one camera, one lens, 28mm lens, and I shot it all on Tri-X film at the time.
Okay.
And so there was a series of 20 pictures, and I did a tighter edit before hanging up the pictures here. So there's 12 on the wall here.
Okay, thank you. And let us know a little bit more about you. So what happened since 2011?
Well, 2011, I'd actually almost just started in photography because I used to have a different career before in finance, and then in 2009 I launched myself into photography. It's been a bit of a long-winded journey. I was trying to find my voice. So I started off with pictures like these, and I did a very long-term project on people who were deported to forced labor camps. So that's very much a project about memory, and that was just published a couple of years ago in a book. After that, I don't want to say I was traumatized, but I sort of drifted away from portraits and people's stories and ended up taking urban landscapes, sort of facades and lampposts and trees, very geometric pictures. But now I think I'm going back to the more human stories and telling people's stories. I find, after all, there's a little bit more substance to it, and I think that's what I'm working on now, to actually get back into people's stories. I'm not sure I'm going to succeed, but
you actually published a book.
I did, yes. I actually did. I self-published this very small book, and then I did publish a book in 2021 on these people, this German minority from Romania who in 1945 were deported to Soviet forced labor camps. And so it's a book with lots of photographs, portraits of these people. landscapes of Romania that I traveled through, and lots of other material, including their testimonies, so what they remembered, how they remembered this deportation at a very old age, and also archive material that they gave me. And it was published by a Dutch publisher, and yeah, it's been quite a successful book, I think.
I've been told that there are only a few copies left.
There are. I mean, so yes. So it was on top of it. It was published in German and in English, so it was a double edition. And at the publishers, it's sold out. I'm sure there are still a few copies floating around in bookshops, but otherwise, I have my own stock. I have a few books left in both the German and the English edition.
Okay, to all our auditors, you know what you have to do now.
Exactly. As they're selling out, the prices keeps increasing. So,
so hurry up. Thank you for being with us, Mark. Pleasure to have you here at the Light Leaks Festival.
Most welcome. Thank you.
Hello. This is our next speaker, Masika, who is sitting here with me on the podcast desk. Masika, how are you?
Hello, Patrick. I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Yes, I'm fine as well. Thank you for being with us. Masika is also one of our collective members. She's on the festival always giving people advice on the legal parts of the street photographing. So she's a lawyer. But I leave the explanation about herself to Masika. Masika, can you introduce yourself in a few sentences?
Yes, so I'm Masika Bentar. I'm part of the collective since, I think, 2018.
Yes, 2018.
And I was a lawyer for 10 years. And about photography, so I began photography about 7 years ago. I used to photography my nephew, and then I discovered street photography, and now I love it, and I make photography as often as possible.
Okay, and tell us a little bit more about the series that you hung up here. It's in a very nice frames. Tell us a little bit more.
Yes, my series is about Vivance. Her name is Vivance. Vivance is a French name, a French new word, which comes from the word life, vie, in French, and it documents about the necessity to live for people, the necessity to have great time, to let the work, to let the little problems of the life aside. So I wanted to rediscover life after a sad period of COVID, which was very difficult for me, and I wanted to document life wherever it is, and I didn't know that this series would be very important for me, because I lost my dad.
I'm really sad to hear that.
Yeah, I lost my dad at 1 month ago, and it's a sort of this series is for me a sort of homage, we say in English.
It's an homage, you say, yeah.
Homage to my father, and it's a very, very, very important series for me. And I thank all the team of the collective to have been so nice with me during this festival. This festival really, and this series really helped me to feel better. And I wanted to thank you, all of you.
Well, we thank you. And thank you.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you. and thank you for being so honest with us.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you.
And pleasure to welcome Janine Unsen, one of the members who has a very artistic exhibition. Janine, present yourself.
So hi, thank you for inviting me to the festival. I'm Janine Unsen. I was born in Luxembourg. I live here too, but I studied photography in Brussels. But it was like a classic documentary school. And I studied photography with film. So I really learned the technique from the basics, which helped me a lot to focus on my eye. Because when you cannot spoil pictures, you have to train your eye, and that helped me out a lot. But since the beginning, I focused my work on portraits.
Okay, and you're being a professional photographer.
Yes.
Great.
Yes, they gave me a diploma. So
okay, and it's your daily bread actually. It's.
Yes, I'm in. I don't know how you call it in English. Congé sans solde.
Okay.
Since September, to focus just on my art, photography.
Great.
Yeah.
And what did you bring to the Lightleaks Festival?
I brought something completely new. I'm starting to take another step in my photography and in my approach, because I think that photography has become really flat, and I wanted to give corpus back to photography. And since 1 year, I do some embroidery on my photography. I feel like I can load the body with gestures and memories, because I'm working mainly with, I'm sensitive to the female condition, and I'm working mainly with women, portraits with women in an intimate cadre.
Setting.
Setting, yes. And I speak a lot to this women when I meet them, and we exchange a lot of different life stories, and which are sometimes really dramatic, but not always. Sometimes it's really fun. And I feel we all have a past, and we have it with us, but it's not, you cannot touch it. And with this embroidery, I can show that. I can give it back to the photography. Yeah, that's the idea. And for the exhibition here, I've worked for the first time with big formats, and it was like a challenge.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing the challenge to the Lightleaks Festival, Janine.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Okay, and for the next speakers I have sitting in front of me, I have a duo of Luxembourg Streetphoto Collective members who decided to do their exhibition together, as they are in same theme, or they have a related topic, which is the Luxembourg Gare. I have with me Dirk Mevis and Gilles Kaiser. Thank you for being with me.
Welcome for inviting us. Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit first, before we talk about the pictures, can you talk a little bit first about yourself?
Yes, so I'm Gilles. I'm born in 1988 in Luxembourg, and I work as a freelance photographer for certain medias, for newspapers and Letzte Land, for example. Yeah.
Okay, and you, Dirk?
I'm Dirk. I'm 45, the old dude with a camera, and that's basically who I am. I'm a photo enthusiast.
Still younger than me.
Yeah, I feel so young here.
Yeah, I feel my knees.
Although I have the most grey hair. Yeah, shit happens.
And how did you team up for your exhibition? Tell us a little bit more. How did it go, and what was the concept behind it?
What was the start date, Dirk? How did it happen?
I think we were both a bit unsure about what to do, and we both felt like doing something special for this very special exhibit. So then we started discussing, and I don't even know how this topic came up with Gare, but...
yeah, I think it was because I was moving to the neighborhood, and so that brought me closer to the action. So, and Dirk had the idea to take large format photos, and so I teamed up with the portraits.
Okay, so we have, well, you see the pictures in the link below the podcast. So Dirk has a big 4x5 huge frames that are complemented with portraits of Gilles. Gilles, I have a precise question. Did you talk to the people you portrayed?
Yeah, I think it would not have been possible to just sneak those photos. Those people are living in my neighborhood, and so I bump into them on a daily basis. And so it was cool to get to know new people from different cultures, different backgrounds. Yeah.
Okay.
So there was always that element of social connection involved.
Okay. And was there a collaboration between you both? So did you tell Dirk, for example, on what locations the pictures of the Gare has been taken, or did you go independently and just matched it together later on?
Both. We talked about it and went independently. So I think a bit of both.
Okay. Well, graphically, the pictures match very nicely together.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was the idea, but to show the environment and then the people in there, to demystify maybe the Gare as as a topic in Luxembourgish discussions, and show a little bit the real situation on the ground.
Yeah, also the human situation, like human connection and the people that are living there. Yeah.
We should have taken a picture of you, since you live there as well.
Yeah, since I love being photographed, that would have been good. Nudes are my main thing. Yeah.
That sounds like a plan for next year.
Yes.
Thank you for being with me for this small episode of the podcast. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Olivier. We have here Olivier Remera, also a member of the Street Collective Luxembourg. And Olivier, you are part of the exhibition. Mm-hmm. You were part of the workshops that you held together with me. So you were quite a big part of the whole festival. Maybe you can tell me about your overall experience of the whole festival for you.
First of all, it was an honor for me to be part of the festival every year, and this year I was more implicated for workshop and for exhibition. Usually I just do exhibition, but this time I chose to do workshop with you. It was a very nice experience. Hopefully next year I'm gonna come back, and we had big nice people in the workshop. So hopefully next year I'll be back for the exhibition as well. As every year, it's nice to be part of the festival, to be part of the exhibition. So no major change for me.
Okay, nice. Thank you, Olivier. Hi, Julia.
Hi.
We have Julia Tinnes here, also a member of the Streetphoto Collective, one of the more long-term members, I would say.
Yes.
It's your. How many participations did you have on the festival until now?
For the exhibition, I think it's the second or third one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And we would like to do a small podcast episode about the impressions of every exhibitor, and we would also like to hear your experience about your participation on the exhibition.
Well, it was very good. I got some feedback, some really nice feedback for my work, and there were a lot of people. So it's a beautiful occasion to show the work, and as I haven't shown this series here in Luxembourg, so it was really great to have had the possibility to show it here.
Cool.
I even sold a picture, so...
Wow. Congratulations then.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Hello again, and I have now a very special guest with us. It's Jérôme Reichel of the Lycée Technique des Arts et Métiers. The Light Leaks Festival has every year a collaboration with one lycée. It's actually already over the last 2 to 3 years, it's an ongoing collaboration we have with the Lycée Technique des Arts et Métiers, and they have a very fabulous photographic section. And each and every year, the students have a wall and they present their work here at the festival. And for this year's edition, we have Jérôme with us. Jérôme, please tell us a little bit about the process of getting to the expo.
Hello. Normally we start with getting an exercise named street photography from our teacher Joseph Tomasini, and we just go for it. Like he tells us, yeah, go out on the streets, do photos. Normally while school, so in our school time, but sometimes we decide to also go out after the school or in the evening, or yeah, how we love it to take our photos.
Okay, and how after you shot the pictures, how do you do that? Do you have how do you select the pictures?
So for me personal, I import them to my laptop and open them in Adobe Bridge, so there I can go with different types of stars and make a selection of what photos do I like or probably not. And after the selection, I've got probably 100, 200 photos I import in Lightroom, and there I make my final decision which photo do I export and which I throw away.
Okay, and how is the collaboration with your teachers going? Do they help you selecting, or is this just you and yourself, or each and every student for themselves, or is there also a work in progress with the teachers?
So that depends on every Schüler.
And every student.
Yeah. So that depends on every student. So normally the teacher tells you to send him a group of photos, probably 10, 20 photos, and he's going to select with you which he would like to ausstellen.
Exhibit.
Which photos he would like to exhibit. But some students love also to just send 1 or 2 photos, and yeah, so after he has nothing, he don't has the big selection of photos.
Okay. And now speak to us a little bit about the pictures that are actually hanging there from the different classes, from the different students. I think you won something as well, no?
Yeah, I personally, I've got the 2nd place out of the 10 photos, and I'm very proud. I mean, last year I also got the 2nd place, but yeah, I'm very proud of myself getting those prizes for my work.
Okay, and tell me a little bit more about the other people that are there as well. So actually, you can see the pictures in the link below the podcast. So there's a selection. Well, the selection of the pictures we talk about is lying underneath.
So the photos, the photos hanging on the wall are from around 40 different students out of 4 different, out of 5 different classes, and there are very much differences between the photos of the different students. Every student has an own system to take their photos, and they are very. Wie sie denn? Sie sind alle gut und ziemlich. Sie sind alle gut in ihren eigenen Charakter.
They all have their own style.
Yeah, every student has his own style to take their photos, and you recognize them very good.
Thank you, Jérôme, for explaining, and thank you for being with us. It's always a pleasure for the whole Luxembourg Streetphoto Collective to have the Lycée Technique des Arts et Métiers with us. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
And now I'm sitting here with Steve Eastwood. He's one of our open wall contest winners from last year. Thank you, Steve, for being with us. Hello.
Hi. It was brilliant. It's the first time I've ever had an exhibition.
That's great.
So,
that's nice.
Yeah.
Introduce yourself a bit.
Okay. My name is Steve. I've lived in Luxembourg quite a long time. I worked as a photographer for English language media, print media, for a long time as a photographer. They kind of came and went. So I've done other things. I've worked for the Chambre des Députés here. I've worked for Wort as a freelancer.
Always as a photographer?
Always photography.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I can't spell. So
okay.
I take good pictures.
Then taking pictures is helpful.
It is.
And you have a fantastic series hanging here on the wall. You see the series also in the link behind underneath the podcast. Steve, tell us a little bit about your series.
Yeah, that was an event. It was annual. I went there originally to take pictures for the magazine, and it was fun. Everybody enjoyed it. People, it was a very sort of quintessentially, I guess, British thing. Selling books, selling cakes, selling tea, and all to raise money for the church. And just people had fun. And I hope that comes out in the pictures, So.
It does definitely come out.
Yeah, good.
And where did you shoot them?
Useldange.
In Useldange?
It was in a private house in the garden, a huge garden. Unfortunately, the last one, I think, was in 2015.
Okay.
And there may have been 2 more since, but I haven't been involved, so.
Okay.
It was a great part of my life experience here in Lux.
It's a British thing that happened in Luxembourg.
Very. There were cakes, tea and cakes as well,
Sounds like a great moment.
Yeah.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being with us.
I hope to come back one day. Who
yes,
knows?
we hope too.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And now I'm sitting here with Marc Vilvoet. Marc Vilvoet, thank you for finding the way to the microphone. Thank you for being with us. Maybe it would be nice to introduce yourself before talking about the pictures.
Yes, hello. Thank you for the invitation. My name is Marc Vilvoet. I'm a photographer for a long time. My professional way, I'm working for press. But besides, I'm doing all the time. I'm doing personal projects. It's very important to me to work and to show a personal work if I have the opportunity. So I'm very thankful for the opportunity to show my work here and in the Light Leaks Festival.
Yes, we thank you very much, and you are more than welcome.
Thank you.
Maybe tell us a little bit about the work you've shown. It's very poetic. Give us a few hints and details.
Yes, it's like all my works. So the fil rouge, when I can call it like that, is always the light. Here, of course, it's more based on street photography, or what can we call street photography. So you are right, it's quite poetic in a way, in a sense that it are small instants. They are captured in a spontaneous way, and that's why I used the medium of the insects film. So it's maybe not quite obvious that you see it instantly. Wow, because the film, I like it. I like the film very much. It's a very nice film, I think, in my opinion. It has a lot of detail, a very strong contrast, and a good saturation in color. So okay, that's technical detail, but I like it very much. but I wanted to also to show the material of the film itself. So maybe that's what you're interested in, because when people have a look at the Instax photos, maybe it's not quite obvious that they are Instax, but I peeled the film out of its frame, and I peeled off its back.
I was guessing for a Polaroid, the FP100C, which is almost unavailable anymore.
Yeah, unfortunately, that film is unavailable, but it gives a certain look. But it's quite different in many ways, because you don't have a real small or very thin film you can peel off. It doesn't exist. I think the color is sort of powder glued to the main support, which is the front of the film. So I don't want to go too much into the details, but
because it's technical, and your work is poetic, and you have writings next to it.
Yes.
Can you dig into this a little bit?
Yes, the writings, I'm always a bit sticking to text, because it can give you a great support for your pictures, or for some feelings, and it can give you directions to guide you. To have a different look maybe at the pictures. So basically, again, the light is very important, and also when we speak about light, light is not only black and white or dark and brightness, but it's also color, and it's also an appearance. It can be sudden, it can be lasting as well. So all these kinds of things, and these things we find in street photography everywhere, and the text should just highlight a bit that direction.
Thank you, Marc.
Thank you.
Rebonjour. J'ai le grand plaisir d'avoir avec moi Andres Lejona, un monument de la photographie luxembourgeoise.
Oh là.
Ah oui. Il faut accepter des compliments, Andres. Présente-toi un tout petit peu à notre public.
Oui, bon. Et, je suis photographe espagnol. Je viens de Bilbao. Et alors, je suis ici au Luxembourg. J'habite ici. Je travaille comme photographe professionnel. Et j'ai fait des portraits, de la photographie d'architecture. Et d'une façon parallèle, j'ai fait mon travail comme auteur. Et bon, des expositions, etc. Non?
Okay.
C'est un peu ça, grosso modo.
C'est génial, oui. On est très, très, très content que tu sois avec nous au Light Leaks Festival de l'édition de 2023.
Et moi, très content de votre invitation.
Merci. Et est-ce que tu peux nous parler un peu des tableaux que tu as accrochés ici?
Oui. Pendant un certain temps, j'ai habité en Colombie.
Ouais.
Alors, il y a un moment que j'ai voulu faire un voyage qui parcourt le périmètre de l'Amérique du Sud, la Sud-Amérique. Et alors, j'ai traversé 12 pays. Et dans ce voyage, je ne savais pas à chaque moment ce que j'allais trouver les jours après. C'est une question de travailler l'idée du mouvement, les mouvements constants. Alors, je n'ai pas arrêté une seule fois, et j'ai fait ça pendant 4 mois. Et très peu de villes, j'ai resté plusieurs jours. Mais même si j'ai resté quelques jours, j'ai bougé à l'intérieur de la ville. Et différents lieux pour dormir, etc. Alors, j'ai fait ce voyage avec 2 caméras, une avec des diapositives couleur et l'autre noir et blanc. Et j'ai fait un travail en couleur pour financer un peu les voyages. Et l'autre travail, c'était noir et blanc, et beaucoup plus personnel, de toutes ces choses qui arrivaient, qui attiraient un peu mon attention. Et cette photographie que je présente ici, c'est un extrait des photographies prises au Brésil. Ça a été 1999-2000. C'est le passage du millénium.
Superbe.
Oui.
Merci beaucoup.
C'est moi qui vous remercie.
Et bonne journée.
Pareillement. Merci.